Welcome everybody to the City Brew Tours Beer Club, the CBTBC. I am your faithful host, guide, and overall person with beer, Jonathan. And of course, it is a new year, which means new year, new beer, is what I like to say. I'm just starting that now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where this next year goes with CBTBC. I know we got some great beers coming, not only in the next couple months, but also we've got great beer tonight. And not only do you have a great host in myself with some great beer, but we've got a great co-host this month as well, because I've got with me Mike. There he is. There's Mike.
Aha!
Ha ha! Huzzah! I'm trying
What's
to bring
going
that
on?
back.
Nice to
Trying,
see you.
trying to bring huzzah back. I don't know if it's gonna work,
Why
but
not?
yeah, we're good. We'll see. We'll huzzah. Anytime we have a beer, we say hi. We just say huzzah. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are you? Nice to see you. Happy New Year. Can we still
Happy New
say it?
Year.
I know it's the 14th, so
Yeah, but I feel like if we haven't really, I think it's fine. And this is well, I would say this is the first live stream of the year, but we had the holiday box on the 5th. So
Mm.
this is the first CBTVC of the year though.
Well, put it
So
in the live stream chat, y'all. What do you think? Should we be doing that or not? Still saying Happy New Year?
I like to say Happy New Year in like March. And, it's like, Happy New Year. Why not? Should still be happy by then. But you know, as I mentioned, new year, new beer, but this is not a new place for either of us to have beer from, even though it is New Jersey. Uh, we're gonna enjoy some beer. Let's crack one open because we gotta start drinking. Because I know the people want to see us get nice and loose, and you know what? We don't want to just be talking the whole time. We want to drink. So we are gonna start off with from our friends over at the Seed Living Beer Project. So we're gonna grab that as simple as beginnings. It does have a question mark on it. Uh, as simple as beginnings.
Is that
Um,
a question mark?
in not on the can, but in if you look at it on like Untapped, it actually does.
Oh, and on the side, yeah, it does over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as simple as beginnings.
As
I
simple as beginnings. There's not
as
many
simple
ways to
as
say that as a question. But I'm looking forward to getting into this. So yeah.
yeah. Let's grab this. Let's pop this open. This is a really fun brewery. Uh, this is classic style for them though, classic. We're just doing a classic little pale lager, easy drinking, start the year off right. But also with this, they are not only a craft brewery, they are a New Jersey farmhouse brewery. They use craft malt. They're doing it all right. But I think we should start drinking. Oh, we got that holiday beer. There you go.
I love this glassware. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that didn't get one from the holiday box, we got these for you guys as well. It is a 12-ounce beer, but that's all right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, this is definitely what you want. I mean, I can
Oh,
see you. Like I see
oh
you, Mike.
wow.
I see you through the beer. So it is a clear beer, not a near beer.
It's got a nice little bit haze though, like an unfiltered vibe.
Yeah.
You can
So
really
that's
see the those bubbles working.
but you are definitely getting that craft malt. I don't say that often of like you can taste it, but like this is not your macro malt. This is not, yeah. I mean, this
This is a
is,
craft beer. This is good. Wow.
yeah. And this is a style that a lot of times people kind of overlook just because you want something a little more body, which we definitely have for later in the episode with our friends from Departed Souls. But, this is, I feel like this isn't all, like, this is a Four Seasons beer. Like, it's kind of chilly out, but that's fine. My radiator, classic New York radiator's going up loud, warm. I want this, get a little cozy, but also have this on the beach. Have this. This is definitely a lawnmower beer, but it definitely has that I'm getting like even, let me see, even a little bit like grassiness to it, which I like.
Yeah.
Like definitely getting kind of that herbal, earthy.
Yeah, breadiness and from the yeast.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, this is, and
Ooh.
with the seed, and it's a very long name for a brewery. It's the seed, a living beer project. And that's kind of their thing though, is let's forage items, on our property. As we mentioned, they're part, and you see it on the can, they're part of they're a certified brewery of the craft malt certified brewery, which means they're using New Jersey craft malt. They're using the, not only locally sourced, but it's also going to be just small batch. So you get a lot of that products and really just that beer from the land, which, not, I mean, all beers from the land, but it really, I think it elevates it to kind of that just a punch up. But also in addition to, the hops, the malts, they have several really, really fun, um, like yeast projects. Well, they'll cultivate their own yeast. They'll do wild fermentation. They're locally grown grains, fruits, forage ingredients, berries, flowers, foliage, and basically it's just, hey, the ground is living, the earth is living. Let's make a living beer and let's use everything from the environment to be able to make a good drinking product. Kind of going back to, original roots of beer making in general.
Yeah, and they got their all their malts are grown in New Jersey from Malts, Rabbit Hill Farms. It's a place where they do malts
Yeah,
and really obviously high quality. And when something's made so locally, obviously I'm in California drinking it, and
yeah,
people are all over the country, but that's something I really and try to do out here too is drink local, get local ingredients, and they've really nailed it with this.
yeah,
Only one
100.
complaint is that it's low in alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. It's low alcohol, light, easy to drink.
But oh,
Uh,
it's just great
yeah,
flavor. Real
great, great, great flavor. And I do want to also just kind of acknowledge, what's going on with our chat. Because we've got some new friends and we've got our returning friends coming every month as well that have been with us. Uh, a lot of them we're making new friendships that are happening right now as you and I are just talking about beer.
Yeah.
People are talking to each other, wishing everyone safe. And we also want to say this, for everyone down in LA. I know you're in Fresno, Mike, so you're a little bit further north from everything that's happening. But, we do want to be aware of not only the individuals, but also, the businesses. The We've had breweries on this live stream from Anaheim, so that's not too far from there, from where everything's happening. So we do want to keep, everyone in their thoughts, staying safe. From everyone that I know that's out there, I have several friends out there in the LA area, and I've been keeping up with them. They're all staying safe.
Yeah.
And so far, the breweries in the Anaheim area are doing okay as well. But it's it it's been a year. We've got the fires happening here. All of our
Yeah.
friends down in North Carolina, they had all of
Still going
that.
through.
They're still struggling. So, a lot of the breweries down there, I've touched base with them right around the holidays as well, and they're working through it, but you know, trying to continue on, trucking on, trying to keep, you know, uh, everyone tries to come up with like a motto for, you know, like every year, right? 2024, we gotta have more. I don't know if anyone did that, but I always like to try to think of one. But the only one that I've heard of for 2025 is 2025, stay alive and strive. It's like,
Try to stay alive.
just stay alive. Just stay alive in 2025. That's the one I've been seeing. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's where we're at. But it helps with that. Beer.
Beer,
Beer,
good
beer, beer.
beer,
Good beer.
good
Good
company.
beer. Good company, good people.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and our friend Daniel here is in the heart of it, West Covina. Thanks, Daniel, for joining us here on the live stream. I'm glad you're staying safe. I do know a couple of people did lose their homes.
Yeah.
It's shocking and scary, scary time. So, uh, luckily in LA, it's not as cold as some other areas. So people that are out on the streets, it's not that it's easier to be on the streets, but
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
that.
I know you just had have family in the Midwest and they just had all those winter storms right at the same time and power out for days and stuff. So it's been an interesting start to the year. Which is why, you know, New Jersey, that's not why we're starting with New Jersey, but New
Segue
Jersey.
back to New Jersey.
Back to New Jersey. New
We
Jersey,
got, do we have Jersey in the house on our live stream? Shout out if you're there. Great. It has always been a great state for beer. I've had quite a few good breweries.
oh yeah.
Jersey is an interesting area, not only in that, but it's kind of like more than the regions. We have the New York City region,
Yeah.
the tri-state area, and then a lot of southern New Jersey is part of the Philadelphia area,
Yeah.
and then the rest I think is bears. I think that there's a lot of bears.
As in like just the animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have black bears in New Jersey, but no, I forgot about the shore. There's the Jersey Shore as
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh, you can't forget
So
about Jersey
it's
Shore.
actually quite a diverse place, the Garden State,
No, it
and
is.
real diversity of breweries as well.
Yeah, and you would think for New Jersey that like it's got some really not just the breweries that we're having today. We have the Seed, Departed Souls, Alternate Endings, Carton Brewing. But I've had I think both of us have had a handful of other New Jersey, whether it's in New Jersey City or Jersey City, South Jersey, City Brew Tours itself. Like we have two different franchises in Jersey, like because there's so many breweries so far apart. But there's mixed numbers. So I'm seeing between 150 and 171 breweries right now
Wow.
in the New Jersey state, which is quite a bit, but still not that many considering, New York's usually in the 550 range as a state, and then obviously California is over 900, and Pennsylvania's in 750-ish, right around there.
Right.
So 150, 170, that's not that many, but I feel like with as few breweries as there are, they do definitely stand out for sure. And they're able to kind of breweries like the Seed were are able to, use those local ingredients, cultivate the land, kind of do something that's a little bit more traditional, a little bit older. And then you have breweries like Departed Souls that, they are a little bit newer, but they are also doing both beer, regular beer, and gluten-free beer. And so you kind of have kind of all these different kind of aspects of breweries that are being noticed across the country, which I think is obviously helpful
Yeah.
as well.
And we do
Um,
have those Spartan beers in there. And I mean, when we were at the height of our craft beer adventures back in New York City, Carton was always just right up there. They
oh yeah.
started in 2011, and they're both Augie and Chris Carton are like godfathers of craft beer. Even though there are certainly older breweries, but right around that time is when a lot of these what we consider the modern craft really got started. And Carton was up there, one of the best. And the BGD in there is one of their
Oh
classics.
yeah. Yeah, no, and like we in New York, like we get carton pretty regularly, but for most people around the country, they're probably, you're not gonna get, I know Daniel's all these breweries, he hasn't had them before. So like these are breweries that, if you're in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, you're gonna get maybe even up and down the East Coast. But over out west, you're not really
Yeah.
gonna get these guys. And that's, some of it's just distribution, some of it's New Jersey has some really archaic laws as
Yes.
well. Beer laws are fun. I always like to, when we get new breweries and we are getting, new cities, I have to research and kind of figure out, the laws for that state. And,
Right.
we've talked about it on here before, and I know you and I have talked about it, but the way that like the brewing industry kind of, or brewing laws, beer laws work for distribution are all still pending and hinge on laws that were in place from Prohibition. Now, 1933 was a very long time ago. We're getting closer and closer to 100 years since 1933 every day. And we're getting very close now. Uh,
It still affects the laws. It's still
yeah,
affecting it.
it is. And the main reason for that is that when they, when they appealed the 21st Amendment and they're like, hey, we can have alcohol, it was we can have alcohol. But you
Mhm.
know what? We don't want to really deal with it. So every state has to deal with it on their own and can make their own regulations, which is why you have such a wide range of laws to the point that even like New Jersey and New York gets really complicated because they have wildly different laws, like
Yeah.
20 minutes from each other, which makes it really confusing if you're traveling around. And then you go to Connecticut and, that's another set of laws, or Pennsylvania, and that's another
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
So it gets very hard to navigate at times. Luckily, most of them are kind of similar with like, grocery stores can sell beer, but not liquor stores. And it's kind of those things are kind of the same in both states. But they also, with that, like breweries in New Jersey cannot sell food at all, which is hard because you can't have a brew pub technically.
That
Um,
cancels any brew pubs. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can have now, as of 2024, now you can have packaged food, which is helpful. So you have chips and stuff. But that does help all the other businesses with like, food trucks and pop-ups and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that does help other
It's a big
parts of the industry.
improvement.
Yeah, yeah, it's an improvement. But you just can't make food on the spot.
Crossing
Um,
state lines is insane. Like we used to have, I lived in Manhattan, and there'd be some brewery like Brick City Brewing. I'd say,
yeah.
"Where's that? I've never had them. Where are they brewed?" And you just like look across the river over there. Like yeah, you can maybe see the brewery, and like you can travel over there, buy them, and bring them back in your car. But like you couldn't have a keg sent to New York unless you had a specific license to cross state lines. And there's the same thing in places like Massachusetts. And I mean,
Yeah.
almost all states have their own laws about crossing state lines with beer.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of friends that lived either well, they lived in Utah, and there's only obviously that's a whole nother realm of laws over there. Not only like alcohol percentage, but
Very
distribution,
specific. Yeah.
very, very specific where they would always go to Nevada, go other places and get kegs in the back of their car and then drive back. But there were always checkpoints because all the cops knew that people drove across the state lines. So like, hey, did you go get beer? I'm like, no, no, sir. Definitely did not. Definitely don't look in my trunk. Uh,
Well, that's the whole plot of the movie Smokey and the Bandit
yeah,
is that they were smuggling cores
that's it.
to the East Coast.
Which,
Cores, if you can believe it.
yeah, which I found a fun fact this week. So you know the company, so Coors, right?
Yeah.
It's Molson, Coors Molson or
Yeah.
Molson Coors. I found out in Canada they only call it Molson.
Good for them.
Yeah, they're like it's Molson. I'm like, you mean Coors? They're like Molson. I'm like, oh, okay. So that has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about today, but
Well, they did get the Molson put before the word Coors.
so it's a
It must
Molson
be if I
because
they
it's Molson hyphen. Is it hyphen or is it a dash?
the
What's the
slash.
diff? Is it a slash?
I think it's a slash.
Is it?
I'll check, but I believe it's a slash. Daniel just said if it were Molson, I'd try to distance myself from Coors too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, you're getting a lot of we were just talking to brewers, New York brewers during the holiday live stream, that a lot of them are actually getting their malt from Canada as well. And so it's makes sense that I guess if it's the Molson company in Canada and then you have Coors and then it's international at that point, I guess. Not
No,
I
no
guess.
slash, no slash, just two words.
Oh, it's no hyphen, no dot, just space. I
Exactly.
think
Molson
I think
Coors
we should change it for them.
if you want to change it.
Yeah, I think we should just change it. Just if we get enough people to just start writing it as should we go slash, dash, or hyphen?
Interesting enough, I'm just looking at their Wikipedia. Molson, much older than Coors, 1786.
Really? And
How's that even?
Coors is 1880-ish?
1873. Yeah, very good.
1873. Ah. I know things. So wow. I didn't
It was
realize that
merged in
was
2005.
2005. So it's 20 years since they're merged this year. So
It's a party this year.
it's a party. If we're
Molson
gonna
Coors merger.
we're so in do they have a month when the merger was? I'm gonna say March. I'm gonna say
Let's
March.
let's just make it March. We're changing the name, so might as
Yeah,
well.
we're changing the names, so we'll just change it to March. And we'll celebrate the Molson merger
Right.
in March. I would just have all the M's. It makes it just roll off the tongue.
Perfect.
The
And maybe
Molson
they'll
March merger.
make a Marzen for us.
Yeah. I don't I mean, but we can't enjoy it till the end of the year though. You can't enjoy Mars in
Oh,
March.
all year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could enjoy a Mars. I drank a Marzen last month. But you know, probably we can brew one in celebration of their merger and then we'll enjoy it during Oktoberfest. So that's
I
what we're
like
gonna do.
I like that a craft brewery goes out of their way to make a Marzen to celebrate the Molson Coors merger. They're not
Yeah.
attacked at all.
No. No, that's what we're gonna do. That's here's the City Brew Tours Beer Club. We are pushing for breweries to make a Marzen to celebrate the Molson merger. Yeah.
Oh, man, I love
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
And this is what happens when breweries are trying to kind of get past all the busyness of the holidays and trying to recover from, taking time off, spending time with the families. And they've got to do all their production for the spring pretty much this month and this week. You guys just get me and Mike talking about the Molson merger. That's this is what you get.
Yeah. This is
And
who we
but
are.
this is yeah, this is the heart of this City Brew Tours Beer Club of talking about beer facts, city facts, everything,
Well, we could
you
talk a
know.
little bit about this nice glass.
Mm.
There are holiday glasses, so happy holidays. And
Well,
you can
this is my holiday glass.
oh, oh, I'm like, oh, is it your name? This is my holiday. I do like that.
This is my
Um,
holiday glass.
and it's the can style,
Yep.
12-ounce can, but it's that long can that you don't see as much.
Uh,
I've never had one, so I'm happy to have it now.
yeah,
But
and I do know that a few of our, I think I saw Jonathan on there and a few others. If you We did have some extra, so we got some out for you guys, which got those out. Which also means that I myself also have like four of these now. So I have almost a full set, which is awesome. So I can do almost an entire box in a different glass right now, which is great. Um, I kind of missed the cans that were the 11.9 ounce.
Last one I saw was 6 Point. Do they still make 6 Point Brewing out of Brooklyn? Do they still make they
Man,
still
not
use it?
really. No, they're switching to the regular 12 ounce. They still have a few. Sometimes they'll do the crisp in it and sometimes the resin. But there's the I think they're switching straight to just the regular 12 ounce.
It really caught on. But I think it's like you see it in energy drinks,
Yeah.
the 12-ounce cans like this.
Like the was that like Red Bull and stuff like that. And I think what's that Celsius?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jason on our thing is saying Brew Gentlemen has
Yes,
that
they
sign.
do, Jason. They do. I actually still have a Brew Gentleman can of that size, which always makes it awkward to stack all my cans in my cabinet because I have this one 11 ounce, 12 ounce can. Yes, Brew Gentleman does still use it. Um, and I
So
mean,
they're out.
they're still out there. Yeah, yeah, they're still out there. And I always like them though, because they're like it for me, it kind of is like, oh, that's different. I need to
Yeah.
remember it. Like it really makes you remember that can.
Hmm.
Even if like there's like Brew Gentleman's design, and yes, we did feature them in the Pennsylvania box. It's just a black can with the logo, and it just says it's just Brew Gentleman. It's a very just simple design, but because it's that 11 point, I think it's technically 11.9 ounces or 12 ounces. It just is like it stands out of like,
Yeah.
oh, that's different. Um, but I'm saving that one to share with the captain and all because that was our Mexican stout, that Mexican hot chocolate stout that we
Ooh.
had in there, which is really nice. And I do agree though, those are really nice when you do have a small footprint in your fridge. Like they take up very little space. A little bit taller, but skinny wise, they just kind of sit right in there. I do find that problem with like 19 ounce or 16 ounce cans that sometimes, they don't quite fit because you can't usually, depending on your shelving, you can't like double stack them a lot of times. You have to do like a 16 ounce and maybe like a 12 ounce normal can on top of it, uh, which is fine. That's fine. But here at CBTBC, we try to get you guys 16-ounce cans, which means I get 16-ounce cans, which is a problem of trying to fit that in the fridge. Um, but
I mean, the craft beer, I mean, that's kind of the norm is the 16-ounce cans now. And when you get a 12, sometimes you're like, okay, that's probably what I need right now. Or
yeah, and
uh,
there's some styles that obviously, just like if you go to like a brewery or you go to a tap room, um, or even bars, if they're a higher ABV, they're going to serve that in that
yeah.
smaller, usually a 10 ounce, maybe even an 8 ounce in some cases, depending on the ABV. But it's going to be in that smaller size. So, if you are doing like I like a Belgian style or something. You probably want that 12 ounce. But as we were talking earlier, sometimes though it's the opposite that with like your barley wines and your bottle condition and barrel age that are higher ABV, they're in those 750 bottles. So they're actually, which you want them in a bottle and not in a can anyway. But they're actually larger format, which now that's a whole nother problem to
That
store.
lends itself to the social aspect of drinking. You want to be able to get together with friends and share that big bottle.
Yeah.
Although, some people don't have a problem putting one down on
No,
their.
no, no, no. I mean, I did finish a whole bottle on New Year's by myself, which is fine. But it
Oh,
was it was but it's New Year's and it was a wild ale, so it's like 5-6%.
oh yeah,
That was
delightful.
fine. Delightful. But you know what? I think we need to go higher ABV than this one, even though this one is fantastic. It's crushable.
Yeah.
It's going down very, very easy. But we've been talking, we've been just drinking and talking and getting through it. But we have another beer from another brewery. We already talked about our friends at Departed Souls. Um, so why not enjoy that Philoso-Rapper, which is
Great
also
can.
just really fun to say as well. Great can, yeah. The artwork, you got the Philoso-Rapper on there. He's just hanging out. He's about to drop a sick beat. Um, did the kid say that still, Mike?
That sounded fresh to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Velociraptor rapper. There's so much going on. He's a rapper. He's a philosopher, and he's also a dinosaur.
Is yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pink dinosaur at that.
A Velociraptor, but he's a
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor, yeah. A philosophy rapper, but he's a Velociraptor.
And I
Anyway,
hope y'all join us on the live stream. Try this one.
yes. And I do have to agree with Jonathan as well that a lot of the uh breweries that are doing even higher ABVs are actually going into the even smaller cans of like the 8.5 ounce cans.
Seen that, yeah.
I know our friends over at Evil Twin have done that.
Yep.
A
Yeah.
few. I always feel weird about those cans
Oh,
just because I'm like,
I
they're
like the
usually,
color on this.
yeah, they're just little.
Nice.
But with this one though, we're jumping up 8%, and we got the 16 ounce of this. This is a beautiful. Uh, and
Pretty up
so,
there.
this is just beautiful color, beautiful. Oh, that Belgian strong ale.
Great
All
can.
right. As we go, definitely gonna cheers on this one.
Ooh.
Oh, that is a clever girl. There it is. Oh, that is
You're
beautiful.
waiting for that one.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh, it's so nice.
But did Daniel beat you to it?
I know he did. I stole it from Daniel, but for the people on the
Oh,
podcast, there you go. Um,
it's very sweet on the aroma. Very
it
like a
is.
cherry, super like candy. I got a real like
Oh
candy,
yeah.
candy.
Oh yeah, it definitely has that kind of that strong caramel, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's almost like you know what it is? Don't hold this against me, Mike.
All
Do
right.
you remember those strawberry hard candies that are
Yeah.
wrapped in the strawberry wrappers?
Yes.
Honestly, that's what I'm getting.
You're getting.
That's what I'm
I
getting.
hear you. I hear you on
Like you
that.
get it on the nose, but then
It's
like you're
more
getting
more candy than I expected on this, but
oh,
I
but
like it.
oh yeah. And this is not a chugging beer by any means. Which most Belgian strongs you probably should not chug. Let's be honest. Um, 8% fitting right within that style. It's got the exact colors that you want. That what is this? Amberish? I'm getting a
It's
few different
yeah, it's
colors.
almost
Amber?
like you said, strawberry. I get
That strawberry aspect,
amber,
right?
an amber that an orange amber, but it leans a little towards a redness.
Almost, yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit more orange, I suppose. Real Belgian color for sure.
Yeah, classic. You want that haze in there, a little bit of that chill. Um, it's everything you want with like a Belgian strong.
I like in the description they say that it's uh part hybrid between a Belgian triple and a Belgian blonde. And I'm like,
100%.
so it's a double.
So it's a well, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Parted Souls. Don't mean to roast you there, but you see, if you go to Belgium, they serve three kinds of beer: blonde, doubles, triples.
And quads. But
There are quads. Yeah, no, I think that quad is not specifically a style, but it's kind of become one in that it's bigger than a triple.
better, yeah. And I love just the
I've had
history
some
of
really
that
great
of
quads.
that style of like the I don't know if you've ever heard kind of one of the origin stories of the single, double, triple, and quad. But basically, one of the origin stories, obviously, there's a lot of different ones with every style of beer, but one of them is actually that the monks got tired of writing words, so they just put X's on as bold as it was. And so it was 1X for like your table beer, which is actually, we actually have that carton BDG. That would be your table beer, right?
Right.
And then it's a little bit less in that barrel, a little bit longer, gets a little bit bolder. The yeast is sitting in that wood, makes the alcohol, goes to sleep, wakes back up, makes it bolder. That's your two X's, and that's your double. And then gets a little bit bolder, sits in there longer. You get a little more stone fruit flavors, slightly, it's a little bit sweeter. Three X's, then you get your quad, you get your more of your molasses kind of flavors from it sitting in
Yeah.
there for months and months at a time. Then you actually get that's your four X's, that's your quad. So that's one of the like urban legend origin stories of like the single, double, triple, and quad is that they just kept adding X's on there on
Yeah.
how bold it was, which is also with the Grim 5X. That was kind of, which is an amazing Belgian. It's a barley wine,
I
technically.
had that last year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually just had it. I had it last year as well. We had it at the bar. But it's the same thing of like kind of going back to that history and kind of paying homage to that of like this is bolder than a quad, but it's like
Yeah. Five
Belgian
X's.
style barley, so like 5X's, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just seeing. So we were talking about, like 750s and stuff. Jonathan just brought up something of there's a video of one of his friends in college that did a beer review of a 750 high ABV beer and chugged the whole thing in one shot. Again, this is not something that we suggest. Don't chug don't chug a 750 at all. But college. So what are you gonna do? But also high ABV beers should be enjoyed, should be sipped on. One, you're consuming a large volume. But also like this beer, this is just like it is delicious. And so you don't wanna like I find it that Belgian ales in general, I always enjoy them because I like a very strong yeast forward beer. Like I like Belgians, whether they're blondes, goldens, strong ales, triples, quads, but also the like saisons and farmhouse. Like I like a really nice yeast forward beer, but you don't chug those. You don't because you want to enjoy them. You want to like savor those flavors because there's a lot going on. And so, you're going to get a different, even as it warms up, you're going to get more flavor
Yeah.
and more complexities as well.
I was gonna say the warming up in the glass. Yeah, as it warms, you get different flavors. I mean, I could see the chugging. That's like to show that you can. Uh,
Yeah. I met a guy on one of my tours that he was like, because I always ask people if there's like a specific beer you don't like, or, just because, we have those experiences where every single person has drank too much of one type of liquor or beer,
yeah,
and you're just like, I can't do that. And this one guy, he was like, oh yeah, no, I can't do Guinness. And I was like, oh yeah, why? Like flavor. He's like, oh no, because I drank four of them in 30 minutes one time. And I was like, well, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And he's like, yeah, no, like I can never have Guinness again because again, with especially with nitro beers, that's gonna that's gonna fill you up fast
yeah,
and you just
and low
shouldn't.
ABV too. So there's no point in doing that.
Yeah, no. But, again, our friends at Departed Souls, you guys are crushing it. This is an
Yeah,
amazing beer.
thanks.
I do want to always point out with their beers, because they and they're keep an eye out, go over to their websites. They're doing production this week, so they're getting a lot of beers out. So there's going to be a lot of stuff hitting the shelf soon. A lot of different styles. They're just it's the beginning of the year for them, so it's production week. And they wanted to be here. They told me multiple times. It's just they're starting very early in the mornings, and so they got to get that beer for you guys. So they got to make the beer, and then they got to can it. But if you notice on this one, there's a very specific hashtag, Mike. If you look on the side, brewed, obviously brewed and canned by departed souls, blah blah blah, and it says hashtag definitely not gluten free. And the reason
Uh,
that they say this is because they also have an entire line of gluten-free beer. And
oh,
so and it is fantastic gluten-free beer. With having a celiac in the household, obviously I have to be aware of gluten-free breweries and I've brewed Belgian strong ales, golden ales, gluten-free myself. But they're definitely not gluten-free line and they're gluten-free line. So whether you drink them and you don't realize that if you're at their tap room or you order it online or everything, you'll definitely like both lines are fantastic beers. But they are very like it's very obvious on their websites, on all their marketing of gluten-free and definitely not gluten-free.
yeah.
So then you can, for those that need to, stay away from that gluten from those grains, they can, you know, they can be safe as well. And they do it in like they have a dedicated space for that gluten-free beer. So there's none of that cross-contamination or anything. So it meets all those FDA standards needed for that. But they have a fantastic story as well. They've been around for 2015, which again, for a lot of our Northeast breweries, that's kind of around that time that started. But the owner Brian, he wanted to pay. He unfortunately had a tragic story with his best friend that he wanted to pay homage to, who passed away, and then was like, I'm gonna make a brewery and I'm gonna honor him. And so with every beer, he pretty much pays homage to his friend, started that, and that's what also his friend, started with that gluten free and then kind of went from there as well. And so they kind of, it's kind of a really nice like tribute for him. And other breweries like Strong Rope Brewing in New York, they do the same thing. They're named after a friend, so paying homage, paying tribute to those friends as well. Which I always think is kind of nice of like, you know, kind of creating that legacy for your friend, um, for like someone that you really cared about of like as a business and as like something you love for someone that you love, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, really awesome. I just noticed that is this their flagship beer, Philoso-Rapper?
It's pretty much one of their flagships, yeah.
That's
They
bold. That's bold, my friend.
for flagship, it
Royal
is
Belgian
yeah,
is
it
the
is
flagship.
definitely yeah, it is definitely bold for one of their flagships. They do have some IPAs, obviously, pale ales. But this is definitely one of their uh main beers. Outside of, and I will say outside of like the tri-state, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, they don't New Jersey has some, as we mentioned, New Jersey has some complicated shipping laws. And
Yeah.
so with that, they don't do major distribution outside. They do distribute through most of the country through halftime brewing or halftime beverage. And a lot of times, most of the beers in our boxes are available through them as well, just like our holiday boxes were as well. Um,
Yeah,
but
halftime is up their game in the past couple of
they,
years.
oh
Really,
yeah, no, they definitely have. So a lot of a lot of the breweries in our boxes, you can get them through halftime if you're enjoying these. Doesn't mean that this specific beer is going to be available all the time through them. But again, they're doing production now, so I'm sure that they're going to get a large volume of varying beers here pretty shortly. Um, but that's kind of the way it is of where a lot of times, especially New Jersey breweries, um, they have to go through either a New York or New Jersey distributor, and they can't sell directly from themselves. And that's just a New Jersey law. There's nothing, it's not their fault. It's just, again, laws. What are you going to do? Which is kind of, it is what it is, right? You know, we might see some changes soon, maybe in the next couple years where New Jersey can ship straight out. New York's starting to change that in the past couple years, which is hopefully that might push Jersey to change some of those as well if they see that it works. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, go to Jersey, take a trip.
Take a trip. You know, if you go to Jersey, you don't just have to go to Jersey. No, no. If, not when, but if, it's a big if.
We also have
If
city brew tours in New Jersey.
we have two city brew tours in New Jersey.
There you
We
go.
have South Jersey and Jersey Shore. And yes, Daniel, we have definitely really good Revolutionary War history. I was going to say that there's a lot of firsts that happened in Jersey.
Mhm.
If you've ever listened or seen Hamilton, everything's legal in New Jersey. But also like not just war, not just like, birth of the country kind of things. They also have one of the largest spoon museums in the country. Uh,
I did not know that.
no, literally around approximately 5,400 spoons at this museum, which is, again, I don't know if you are a spoon connoisseur, if you like spoons, but why not? Why not? Why not go see spoons? Why not see the tallest water tower in the world in New
Oh,
Jersey?
wow.
It's in Union City, New Jersey. Um, I
No,
don't
I
know.
was a resident of New Jersey for 4 months once.
I'm sorry. I feel like as someone that lives in New York, I have to say I'm sorry. Um,
I was
which part?
I lived in a town called West New York.
Oh no, no, yeah, I know West New York.
West New York.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there quite a bit. There's
That's the
also
first place
Orange
I lived in
County.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Orange County, New Jersey,
Mm.
which is not the same as Orange County, California. Um, they're very
Very
different.
different.
Very, very different.
I got in a
Um,
car accident in Orange,
California or New York or New Jersey?
New Jersey. Yeah, filming an Eminem video. So there you go.
Now, Eminem as the rapper or the candy?
The rapper.
Okay, all right, all right. See, this is what
Book
happens when
quote.
we get Belgian strong ales on this. We go off the rails. Just talking about rappers,
Yeah, rappers. It
candies.
was a guy named Obi Trice.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah, Obi Trice and 50 Cent were both Eminem prodigies. And 50 Cent went boom, huge. And Obi Trice went, "Yeah, well, I made the one video."
Yeah, yeah. He's
And
still in
that was it.
Orange. He's still in Orange County.
Actually that was a game that was a bit of a catalyst for me. I got more jobs from that Obi Trice video.
Actually, do you want to hear a list of people that are celebrities that are from New Jersey?
I do.
Okay. So we'll go through this. Jack Nicholson, Bruce Springsteen, Bon Jovi, Redman, the rapper, Das EFX, Naughty by Nature, Sugar Hill Gang, Lords of the Underground, Jason Alexander, Queen Latifah, Shaq, Judy Blume, Aaron Burr, well, obviously, Whitney
Yeah.
Houston, Eddie Money, Frank Sinatra, and Grover Cleveland.
And it's funny because about at least half of those people are associated with New York.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no, those
Grover
are
Cleveland was the governor of New York
well, and
eventually.
Frank Sinatra, New York, New York, like uh,
And naughty and what is it? Sugar Hill Gang. That's about Harlem.
yeah, and
I didn't know that. You said another Red Man. He's associated with Staten
Redman,
Island
yeah, yeah,
because of the Wu-Tang Clan.
yeah, and obviously Jason Alexander, Seinfeld, like we associate that more New York than New Jersey, and I don't know, so I know they were all born there. I don't know
I
if
see the
like
born.
I don't know how long they stayed there.
John
Um,
Stewart is known from being from Princeton and
yeah,
Phoebe Newirth as well.
yeah, yeah. And obviously the boss is still in Jersey and still in, was that Aberdeen? Is that right?
Uh, Asbury Park.
Asbury Park, not Aberdeen.
He's from down from the shore. He is down from the
Yeah,
shore.
yeah,
Woodrow Wilson
yeah,
from Princeton. Oh, I like this. We're getting a lot of
yeah, yeah. See, New Jersey has history, guys. It has fantastic beer. It has, I'm gonna just say history. Maybe not fantastic history, but it has history. And did you know, Mike, it's the
please.
leader in seafood production, particularly clams.
Clams and what's the other conch? Which
Oh,
called
oh,
what's the word they use for the I don't want to say it wrong. Uh
we don't care here. Go for it.
Bengali, but what's it called? What is conch called when you put it in a can? They're really known for that. Oh, clams though. I didn't know about the clams.
Yeah. I actually, New Jersey is where the first place that I had clam fritters, which is just fried dough and clams, let's be honest. But it's fantastic because who doesn't love fried food and seafood? But it worked really well.
This is killing me.
And yes, oh yeah, I mean we can't not think about The Sopranos when we think of New Jersey. And I
And
actually just when I
great
did
pizza too.
Sopranos, I did this. For those listening, I did like the classic kind of like Italian Sopranos, of course. And obviously we can't forget Kevin Smith and the Clerks and there's a lot of whether it's celebrities or TV shows or pop culture that have come out of New Jersey. It's good. It's a good time. Did you figure it out, Mike?
Scungili.
Scungili.
Scungili is conch meat. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had it. I had it in the
How do
Caribbean.
how do you cook it?
I mean, you same with the clams. It's like you just put it in, some with
Stuff.
some pasta and some white wine sauce. Kevin's
I
another one, yeah,
yeah.
another Jersey guy.
Yeah, and I will say to
Chili.
to Daniel, I haven't met Kevin Smith. I haven't met the Clerk guys, but I have been to the convenience store where they filmed Clerks.
There
I
you
have
go.
been there. Um, it's fine, but it's a great spot for the film. And obviously Taylor ham and sandwiches and literally some of the best deli sandwiches you're gonna get are gonna be, I will say, like some of the best delis in the country. And this might be controversial as someone that lives in New York, but New Jersey has some really good delis.
Yeah,
They really do.
absolutely. I used to have a Jersey, like not a phobia, but an issue. Like I would always have a problem crossing
Yeah.
the river. Being a Manhattan guy, uh, I got over it eventually, but then it was kind of like it kind of culminated in that car crash that I was in the video. Uh, but
So
I'm
I
I'll go to Jersey anytime.
Yeah, no, I feel that because like as someone that grew up in Indiana, right across the river from Kentucky, you're like,
Mm.
oh, I'm from Southern Indiana, but not Kentucky. So then like as soon as I moved to New York, I'm like, I'm from New York, but not New Jersey. And it was kind of the same. It just like carries over where you always have that one state that's like your rival, but it's like a friendly rivalry. It's like your college
Right.
like colleges where you have that one rival where like you get along, but you still have to give them a hard time.
Yeah, state lines can be pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily in both cases I had rivers, so like I didn't have to go there, in either case. But
We're gonna
we're
run out of states. That's my next question for you.
what's that?
Are we going to run out of states?
For City Brew Tours
Yeah.
Beer Club or like in general?
No, no, because we have 50.
Yeah, we got 50.
Well, I guess you can start over at that point.
Yeah, so what I will say, coming into the new year, so I will say we are going to, so I know for the past few months, yes, Kentuckiana, and just like Floribama. But for the past few months, I know we've been doing more like regions of a state. So like we're
Okay.
doing New Jersey, so we're doing that so that that provides us with more opportunities to get breweries that aren't in the exact same city, and that are like adjacent to each other, to provide higher quality beers and like more beers for our subscribers and for the people. What I will say is moving forward in the next couple months, we are gonna, in as much as possible, we are gonna try to go back to more of that city structure, to go and get some more cities some that we may have visited in the past, others that are new ones that have been kind of a journey to try and get a hold of. But we are going to try and be more city focused
Okay.
as possible. Now, like Rhode Island was small. You can't do one city in Rhode Island.
Pretty small.
You have to do the whole state. So there are some cities like that or some states that are small or have few breweries. So we have to do a multiple cities within that. But I we are gonna repeat some states coming forward. I will just say there are a handful of states that we may never visit. And there's two reasons.
I know one of
Which one?
some of these states don't have any breweries.
Well, yeah, I mean, most actually, as of now, all 50 states have breweries. They
Sure.
do have breweries. But as we've talked about, in the first half, different state laws and things like that, shipping laws. So also cost, right? So Alaska is going to be one that we may never. I've been trying for the
Let's
past
find
year.
that. Okay.
I know. I've been trying for the past over a year to get Alaska. It's just tricky. It's just logistics and it can only be certain times of the year. It's hard. And the other one is Hawaii, as
Yeah.
well. And that's because most of the breweries out there don't ship across to the country, because most of the craft beer is unpasteurized. And so to get it all the way across the country, especially, even if it was trying to get to me all the way in New York, that's going to be a problem. So like one of my favorite breweries is on the Big Island of Hawaii, and I've tried to talk to them. I'm like, I will pay you whatever you want to get me your beer. And they're like, no, we're not, because it's unpasteurized and they can't risk that safety of it changing temperature so much. So that's one thing. So there are so leaves us with 48 states that are a possibility. Now, within those 48 states, there are still a handful of states that have kind of strict distribution laws that we are working with, that hopefully we will get some states like Georgia, going down south and things like that. Yeah, we are definitely trying to get some more southern states in the next coming months, within the next year. We are going to get, I know we've been kind of northeast centric, and that's just been due to logistics recently. Just like in the past, we've been kind of northwest centric due to logistics for shipping reasons. We're gonna try to get the Midwest in there, I promise, and the South. So I'm already working on some states coming in the next 6 months that we're getting some South and we're getting some West. So we're getting some of that in there. Um, but yes, I will say like one of my white whales is Georgia. But it's been a battle. Just because of distribution laws.
Okay.
But yeah, and for those that are wondering, I'm not trying to hide the name of the brewery in Hawaii. My favorite brewery there is the Big Island Brew House, but house as in German. So it's a German style brew house that plays indie rock music but serves Mexican food. Like, what else do
There's
you
all the
want?
bases.
Yeah, like they're and actually I a one of the gluten-free beers I made, I homebrewed was a clone of one of their beers, which was a golden Belgian strong ale brewed with Hawaiian or Manuka honey. And I was able to recreate that in a gluten-free form. Which is a really good beer. It was really
Nice.
good. But like they have that one, that's their Golden Sabbath. They have a Black Sabbath, that's like a porter. They have some red ales, IPAs, like all of the, and they use local ingredients. They're a brew pub, so like they don't distribute, and all their stuff is like in like bomber bottles. So like also trying to ship that is kind of hard. Um, and Daniel actually had that beer from them. It's a good beer. It's a really good beer. Yes, and definitely Charleston, South Carolina. A lot of the South, we're gonna try and get down there. It's been a while for some of our states like Tennessee, South Carolina. I will say, I know we were in North Carolina last year. We also have to give them respect. It's going to be a little bit for anything in North Carolina, just due to the damage from last year. That a lot of the breweries are still recovering. Just like California might be a little bit, parts of California might be a little bit as well, um, just because of nature, literally. Um, yeah. Does that answer your question, Mike? I'm also answering everyone else's question as
Yeah.
they're talking because
Yeah.
this is what I do. I drink, I talk, and I know things.
Daniel makes another point. Arkansas, like some of these states, I couldn't even name a brewery from Arkansas.
Let me see.
I
Mike,
mean,
talk
yeah,
for a
like
second.
Alabama's another one. I don't think I know any breweries out of there. But again, it's like we talk about, we go back to prohibition laws, and like a lot of these states have had issues just having breweries exist. Texas is a good example
Yeah.
of they've just only recently in the past 10 years have allowed craft breweries to thrive. And so they're kind of playing catch up with the rest of the big states.
I've never had an Arkansas beer.
There you go.
And I've had almost
But I mean, they
900
exist.
unique beers. And I'm even seeing if there are Arkansas breweries, if that's even a thing. I mean, it has to be a thing, but
Little Rock Brewing.
well, yeah, obviously.
I assume it's a thing.
Ozark Beer Company, Gravity Beer Works. They have their own Brewers Guild. So, you know what, Ralph? I take that as a challenge.
Yes.
I will work on Arkansas for 2025 for you. As I started off this month, or this stream, 2025, new year, new beer. So I will see what I can't make any promises. But I will do my darndest to try and get states, obviously cities, but states in general, that we have not had before. Um, do not hold that against me if we have repeats. Because again, logistics and obviously if we get into researching parts of Georgia, Arkansas, and if those breweries, if that just doesn't allow it, then that is what it is. So we have to figure that out. Um, Even parts of Washington and like Oregon. I know certain parts of Oregon can only distribute within their state. So it's just, it is what it is. But I will do my best. I'm making a note of it. We, Hopefully, let's get some Arkansas in there, some South Carolina. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next year. Um, yeah. Mike, do you have anything? I was worried that we weren't gonna make it an hour, because it's, again,
Well,
we were
let's
just
say
talking.
the Beer Vengers are back, which is exciting. We've been away for 8 months, and we just made a new episode. Should be coming out this week. Look for it at your any of your streaming services. The
At your
Beer Ven-
local brewery, look for Beer Avengers at your local brewery.
we should brew our own beer. That would be a good idea,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
or at least like
Do a collaboration.
collab with a brewery. Yeah, I think that we'll maybe get the Beer Wonder on that, and
I'll get
'cause
I got some connections. I can make that happen for you.
let's make we should make that happen.
I can make that happen. I can make that happen.
Well, you are one of the Beer Vengers for
Well, yeah.
sure. But
Uh,
dropped a new episode and probably our best one yet.
okay. But I wasn't on it.
Well,
So
sorry about it.
so
Best
maybe
one
not.
that didn't have Jonathan.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So we like
Not,
a little
not to
asterisk.
not to toot my own horn or anything. No, that's awesome. I saw the post that the Beer Avengers are coming back. Uh, is it something to look forward to continually, or is it going to be as
Yes,
it
we'll
is
probably do it monthly. Yeah.
monthly? Oh, nice. Yeah. So, see, this is news dropping. We're learning facts about people in New Jersey. We're learning about new states that hopefully we can get at the City Brew Tours Beer Club. The Beer Vendors are coming back. They never went away. They just took a hiatus. You
Just
know.
we went away in podcast form.
Yes, you were still
Continue,
here. You were
continue
here
to
on the
exist.
Yeah, yeah. You were still here. I mean, I have all the Beer Avengers on the core on here pretty regularly.
Right.
That's good. Yeah. So for those that are listening, obviously, please continue buying the City Brew Tours Beer Club, because that keeps us going, keeps us more beer, keeps you guys getting beer from different places. So you can always get that at shop.citybrewtours.com. You can always, again, listen to this podcast as well we'll have it on YouTube, we'll have it on Spotify and all the podcast places, and keep an eye out for the Beer Vengers or at the Beer Avengers. Coming out. When's it coming out? Monday? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Let's say Monday.
Let's say Monday. Whenever you're listening to this, it'll be out on Monday. So whenever that is.
Monday,
Uh,
yeah, the 20th. Yeah,
the
inauguration
20th.
day.
Okay, there you go.
Everything's happening on the 20th. It's now Martin Luther King Day and inauguration day, and it's my half birthday.
Oh, and it's the Beer Avengers
And they're dropping the new beer veg.
release. Yeah. And that's a day that I'm going to be drinking a beer. Um, just for life, really. Let's just be honest. Um, but I think we have exhausted everything. Mike, do you have any last words of wisdom?
Just like I said, the important thing about beer drinking and craft beer is to continue to associate and connect with others and enjoying those great beers together. So continue to do that. Spread the the City Brew Tours love and come and check us out. City Brew Tours around. We're all over the country,
Yeah,
wherever you're at. Again, we're not in California, I don't think.
no.
It's probably my fault. I could have started a franchise.
Do the Fresno, CBTB,
I'm
CBT Fresno.
pretty lazy, so
Yeah, uh,
it'd be great though. It would be
yeah,
great. I'll look into it.
yeah. I mean, we talked about,
Oh, Daniel just
earlier.
said he did it in Phoenix. I want to do that too. 'Cause I have family there. Yeah, We want to do a whole Beer Vengers thing at Phoenix. It's a great town for
No,
beer.
Phoenix is a good one. And that's a good point as as City Brew Tours has gone through a lot of changes over the years and everything. Phoenix was one of our first franchises. Same with New Jersey. Both
Hmm.
South Jersey and Jersey Shore. Those were some of our early franchises where individuals were like, I love this experience. I love beer. Um, how can we make this happen? And they started franchises. So Phoenix has some really good breweries, some good people. And so, yeah, definitely do the Phoenix. There's not many others on the West right now. But who knows?
Portland.
Yeah, is Portland yeah, I think Portland's still happening. I don't know. There you go. Mike just chugged
Yeah, we
his
did it. I did
Belgian.
both. Yeah.
He chugged them both.
I'm
I'm
going out
pacing
tonight.
myself because I have to
I'm gonna have to
talk.
get an Uber now. Oh, don't drink and drive. That's another
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. No, that's why we have City Brew Tours. You drink, we drive. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, drink local. Get all your local breweries. For those breweries that you've had that you haven't had before that are in the box with our friends at Alternate Ending, Carton, Departed Souls, and The Seed. You can check out their websites if they do not ship out directly from themselves. You can get them from Halftime Beverage as well. I think that is a perfect end to a wonderful episode of kicking off the year of 2025, staying alive with City Brew Tours Beer Club. With that, I'm going to say cheers, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening. And we will see you guys next month. Um, I believe it is Colorado.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you gonna tell us?
I'll
Yes.
tell you. Yeah, I believe it is still Colorado at this moment. It still is. Again, logistics happen,
I hear they have a
but
couple of breweries there.
they have a couple. They have a few. They also host one of the Great American Beer Fest. So, there's that. But cheers, everybody. Have a safe, enjoy your Ubers home. Have a safe evening. For all of those in California, we're here for you, sending those vibes, those prayers. We're thinking of you. Everyone else in the country, we're also thinking of you as well. And we will see you all next month, right here, same place, new beer, new year. All right, bye everybody.
Thanks, Jonathan.